Hello, and welcome back to Let's Replay Mystery Case Files Huntsville. I'm MCF Papa, and this is part number 4. We're going on the Case 9 Spaced Out. Before we get there, I'd just like to point out, I love how the earlier cases get updated with a photo of the actual guilty party. Though something weird is that, like, as you can see here, for some reason at a certain point in the game, I'm not entirely sure when, but the badges just get horribly oversized for some reason, and they look super pixelated and bad. And I don't get why, but that's something that happens. It might be after you beat each level, then they enlarge in size for some reason. I'm not sure. Anyway, UFO sightings and alien visitations have become alarmingly commonplace in Huntsville, say its frightened residents. Huntsville police suspect a cruel hoax but are unable to convince its gullible citizens. Search for clues in the pawn shop, toy store, fire station, and other locations, and then use the singular divining power of the crime computer to reveal the identity of the charlatan extraterrestrial. Yeah, a funny statistic is just like how much more common it is to find a UFO sighting in the US compared to like every other place on Earth. So I guess what that implies is that the aliens visiting us like definitely just are super fascinated with American culture for some reason. And so that's why they're visiting us so much more than other places. Or is that we're more gullible into believing that UFOs are real when it's really like top secret government programs going on or something? Who knows? And that's like a really old-timey looking level, which is weird. I guess maybe they really were, even though it's set in 2005, they were wanting to make it more timeless or something. Maybe. That's a clever spot to hide a baseball inside of a gas mask. Why the heck does it... I guess a fire department would have gas masks available. I mean, I know they have, like, masks, but are they specifically gas masks, or are they just, like, respirator type things to filter out the smoke? And like that toilet is super old-timey looking, and the gas pumps are super old-timey. They even have a gas station attendant. Like, that's a total thing of the past. Except I think in some states they do still have people pumping your gas for you, but I think it's like required by law or something. For some reason. I liked the humor though with this like duffel bag or whatever that like there's a hand peeking out of it implying that there's someone trapped inside, but then there's also a little periscope there too for implying a little submarine or something's in it. Yeah, even this very first game really solidified the sort of humor. Like, it's part serious, part comedic, but sadly, like, especially in games post Big Fish Studios era, they've really not had a ton of humor in. It's gotten a lot more serious in the tones. It's funny, though, just how influential this one game was on the whole hidden object genre of PC games. Because, I mean, sure, there were hidden object games before Mystery Case Files, but like Huntsville and the other early Mystery Case Files games really popularized the genre, or as Alex Trebek would say, genre. Okay, I'm not finding the old key anywhere. So, on to Al's Music Emporium. This is a location. It's okay as a location. I just don't like the ugly yellow wallpaper, and this looks way too cluttered, if you ask me, with like too much going on in the scene, not nowhere to really focus your attention. That's an actual ocarina. Huh. I honestly did not remember that there was an ocarina in here. But for many years when I played the game, I would have no idea what the heck an ocarina even was. And like it took me until like 2014, 2015 to actually play Ocarina of Time for the first time. Oh, hey, there's a kazoo. Be sure to, on the subject of kazoos, be sure to check out my Let's Play a Banjo Kazooie whenever that comes out. It should be coming out fairly soon after this series, I think, with the way I've got the schedule. Anyway, here's the big alien playing with toys from the toy shop. And by the way, it's funny that, like, that's her whole motivation for causing a UFO scare in the town. And what even would be the punishment for pretending to be an alien? Like, I guess it would be disrupting emergency services, and you get punished for doing that. But what other harm would it really do? It'd cause panic, sure, but could you get in trouble for, like, inciting fear, like being terrorism or something? I don't know. Congratulations, Agent MCF Papa. You have caught Cladu Barada Nikto, or as she is known by us Earthlings, Doris Blevins, planning her next alien encounter. The only force field she'll be behind are the steel bars at Cold Hard Justice. They spelled steel wrong. Your dynamic detecting skills have earned you the new ranking of Private Eye. Below if you're brave enough to continue. Yeah, I legit did not notice that typo in the briefing here with steel being misspelled until this very series I'm recording right now. This very day, about 18 years after the game originally came out. So, how about that? And also, by the way, when I was younger, I didn't understand what they meant by Cladu Barada Nikto. Now, I'm old enough to know that that's a reference to something. I think some early science fiction movie, maybe Forbidden Planet, or something like that. But I'm not entirely sure. I'm old enough to know that it's a reference to something, but not old enough to know what the reference is. But hey, future Luke, that's something more for you to do. Anyway, on to Case 10, Not So Final Resting Place. This is my favorite case in the game. A grave robber has been relieving Huntsville cemetery residents of their most precious valuables. Test your up-and-coming crime-solving abilities by unearthing more information in this dead serious matter. Get it? Dead serious? So clever. Scour the Huntsville Cemetery and Mausoleum as well as other noted locations for clues. When you've found enough evidence, you can use the crime computer to identify the evil behind the sordid malfeasance. Oh. Well, the Shadow Master badge didn't grow, but now they seem to be back to their normal sizes, except the Shadow Master has, like, become narrower and more compressed. Weird. And by the way, it's funny that Private Eye is an actual rank, when usually those are just people not associated with any other organization of detectives or police. Anyway, this is my favorite level because it is focused around my favorite location in the game, the Huntsville Cemetery. Which is a spooky location, so even in Huntsville the seeds were planted for making the series more focused on paranormal stuff, but it was just a really small part of this game. And honestly, it would be interesting to get another Mystery Case Files game where it's not paranormal related, just solving some mystery. I'd play it. And I get the fish once again. Can I actually find the fish this time? Doesn't seem like I can. By the way, though, even though the game doesn't have any background noise for the scenes themselves, I'm honestly kind of fine with it because the background music is just so good. Like, I love all the tracks in this game, especially the Mystery Case Files theme, which they made brand new for this game, and it just fits in so well, and it's such a good piece of music. I love it whenever we hear it in the series. But sadly, the more modern games really have shied away from properly using the theme, which is a real shame. Okay, once again, I can't find the stupid fish. So, it's not that thing, no. I don't know what I was expecting that to work, but oh well. You know, the problem is I'm gonna be like looking at this while editing, and then I'll see the fish right away, and then be like, come on, past me, why couldn't you have noticed the fish? Oh well. Gotta be thorough though now and get every single other item in this game, or in this level. Honestly, it's kind of weird that they were this strict with the amount of items you need. I guess they just really wanted to make it more challenging, so you play it longer since it's a fairly short game. Because, like, I remember on the last level, I've actually gotten times up on it before. Not the last level in the game, the previous Case 9. I remember actually doing that, like, and getting it right before I was about to put in the last tiles in the final mini game. But I guess that was the first time ever I played it. It might have been like the second or third time through when I wasn't really familiar with the game yet. But I know I've gotten a times up on that level and on the final level, but at least with the final level it's really understandable since they only give you 4 minutes to do a totally new hidden object scene you haven't seen before in the game. That's honestly pretty brutal. But, like, other than that one time, I don't think I've ever gotten a times up on any of these other levels. I'm just that good, I guess. I'm such a pro gamer at Mystery Case Files Huntsville. What a big claim to fame. Oh, there's the gas station attendant too for some reason here. Reptile House as a location is decent, It's okay. I like the foliage, like the greenery in the background with like big like lizards or whatever in the background, like they're dinosaurs or something, but other than that, it's kinda eh. I'd put it in the higher tiers of locations though. Now the mausoleum is once again one that's pretty decent, especially having a whole straight up bloody hand in it. Sheesh. But my favorite part is the ghost from the coming out of the sarcophagus. And by the way, isn't it a bit hypocritical that like we're investigating someone grave robbing and yet we're breaking into like a private mausoleum and like stealing a bunch of items to help us in the case? I think that's a bit hypocritical. There's a lot of though ancient like Egyptian stuff in here, which is kind of weird. And then there's also just the straight up skeleton like chained up to the wall, presumably chained while he was still alive and then just left to rot. Kinda morbid. And then there's like a sack of money, I guess stolen from something. Or maybe someone was buried with it on them. I'm not sure. Oh, and how could I almost forget the leg coming out of the coffin? Or I guess you would say that's a coffin, or I don't know what you would call that exactly. Stone sarcophagus? Maybe? Is that a sarcophagus too if it's not like upright? I'm not sure. Anyway, now for the cemetery. I love how it looks. It's so spooky and got so many skeletons and ghosts around. It's great. Like, I've always liked this, which is weird because, like, Ravenhurst playing that the first time spooked me so much it turned me off of the game, but I wasn't really ever scared from this, from what I remember. I guess because it's not as in your face as like the Emma Ravenhurst skeleton jump scare at the end of that game. And also there isn't the creepy ghostly voice of Emma talking to you when you're investigating this. Maybe that's it. That gravestone says Martha, I think. Martha E. something. It looks kind of like Maptra, though. But I don't think that's it. I think it's supposed to say Martha there. I wonder if that's a real, like, image of a real gravestone they took a picture of and put into the game. That would be a bit messed up, you know? Like, taking a picture of a random person's grave and just putting it in your video game. There we go. Had a bit of trouble there, but still managed to do it. And now this scene is kind of weird because, like, in most of the other things where you view the culprit, they're like centered on the image. But here, the guy's like way over to the side. I don't know what's up with that. I guess they thought it would look cooler to have him like peeking out of a grave. Or not out of a grave, but from out of behind from one of the graves. I guess that was what they were going for. What's also weird is they have two of the emblems here. So maybe they were originally planning on having the guy be more centered and having the emblem there, but then they decided to move him off to the side, and so they put the emblem more to match too. Exceptionally done, Agent MCF Papa. You have uncovered the mysterious grave robber's identity. Pawn Shop Pete's assistant Lou has been selling unearthed personal effects at the shop for some time. Thanks to you, Lou's digging days are done. Your superlative spying skills have earned you the new ranking of Undercover Agent. Click below if you can handle the truth. Haha! A reference to A Few Good Men. Once again, I couldn't pick up on that when I was younger. And not even pick up on that when back in 2014, because I didn't watch A Few Good Men till, I don't know, like 5 years ago. Anyway, that'll do it for this part. Like and subscribe if you want. I'll see you next time when we're going on to even more stuff.